My friends, I know you're tired. Life has been pressing down on you with weight you never thought you'd have to carry. Maybe you've been struggling in silence, walking through a valley so deep that even your closest loved ones don't know how dark it's become. You've whispered prayers in the night, asking God, do you see me? Do you care? And tonight I am here to tell you, yes, He sees you. Yes, He cares. And yes, He is moving even when you can't see it. The exhaustion you feel is real. You're not imagining it. You're not weak for feeling like you've reached your limit. We live in a world that constantly demands more strength, more resilience, more patience, more faith, until it feels like there's nothing left to give. You may be holding everything together on the outside, but inside you're wondering how much longer you can keep pushing forward. You wake up each morning with the same worries weighing on your heart, the same bills, the same struggles, the same unanswered prayers. But let me tell you something powerful. Your struggle has not gone unnoticed. God sees you. He sees every tear you've shed, every moment of doubt, every time you've wanted to give up but kept going anyway. He sees the burdens you carry and the nights when sleep escapes you because your mind is racing with fear. He sees the moments when you're surrounded by people but still feel alone. And He's not just watching. He is with you in the middle of it all. You are not alone in your struggle. You are not abandoned in your exhaustion. God stands beside you, holding you up when you feel like you can't stand on your own. His presence is not distant. It is as close as your breath, as near as your heartbeat. He has been walking with you even in the moments when you couldn't feel Him there. Maybe you've been questioning why this season has been so hard, why the breakthrough hasn't come yet, why the road seems endless. Maybe you feel like you've been forgotten, like your prayers have gone unheard. But hear me, God has not forgotten you. He has not turned away. The struggles you face are not signs of His absence. They are opportunities for His power to be revealed in your life. If you are weary, if you are tired, if you feel like you can't keep going, know this. Your pain is not in vain. God is preparing something greater than you can imagine. Hold on, my friend. Keep trusting, keep believing, because the one who holds the universe in His hands is holding you too. There are moments in life when the weight of our struggles feels unbearable. You've prayed, you've waited, and yet the storm still rages on. You wake up each day hoping for a change, for a sign, for relief, but it feels like you're trapped in a cycle of exhaustion. You see others thriving, moving forward, receiving their blessings, and you wonder, Lord, when will it be my turn? You've carried burdens for so long that you're beginning to wonder if God even hears you anymore. But let me remind you of a truth that time and time again has proven itself. God does not overlook His children. He is not blind to your pain, and He is not deaf to your prayers. Even when you feel forgotten, He is working in ways that you cannot yet see. The struggles you face today are not signs of His absence, but rather evidence that He is shaping something greater within you. Think about the story of Job. He lost everything, his wealth, his health, his family. He was left with nothing but pain and questions. His friends accused him. His wife told him to curse God and die, and yet Job held on. He didn't understand why he was suffering, but he refused to turn away from God. And in the end, God restored everything Job had lost, double what he had before. God saw Job's suffering just as He sees yours, and He had a plan even in the midst of it. Your pain has a purpose. The waiting, the struggles, the exhaustion, it's all leading to something. God is strengthening your faith, building your endurance, preparing you for the very thing you've been praying for. But sometimes, before He opens the door, He has to prepare you to walk through it. And preparation isn't always easy. It comes with trials, with moments of doubt, with seasons where it feels like you're being stretched beyond what you can handle. But hear me when I say this. God will not let you break. He will not allow your struggles to destroy you. Instead, He is using them to refine you, to equip you, to position you for the blessing that is on the way. So even when you're tired, even when you're weary, even when you feel like giving up, hold on, because the God who sees your struggle is the same God who will bring you through it. There is something deeply human about exhaustion, about the feeling of being drained, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. It is the weight of unanswered prayers, the strain of waiting, the heaviness of carrying burdens that seem too great to bear. And sometimes in the midst of it all, you find yourself whispering, God, how much longer? Perhaps you have been faithful in prayer, believing that God would move in your situation. You have done everything you know to do, held on, trusted, remained patient, but still nothing seems to change. You watch as others receive their breakthroughs, as doors swing open for them, while you remain stuck in a place of struggle. It is in these moments that doubt creeps in, whispering lies that maybe God has forgotten you, that maybe He is not listening, that maybe you are simply not meant to receive what you have been asking for. But I want you to know this: God is not indifferent to your pain. He is not overlooking you, nor is He withholding good things from you out of cruelty. The very struggles that are wearing you down are the same ones that are shaping you, molding you, strengthening you. What feels like a delay is actually divine preparation. What seems like silence is actually God working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet understand. Think about the Israelites wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. They were tired, frustrated, and desperate for the promised land. But God knew they were not yet ready to receive it. There were lessons they needed to learn, faith they needed to build, trust they needed to develop. And though it felt like God was distant, He was there every step of the way, providing manna from heaven, leading them with a pillar of fire, ensuring that their clothes and shoes never wore out. He was proving to them that He was their provider, their sustainer, their protector. In the same way, God is leading you through your wilderness. He sees your struggle. He knows you're tired. But He also knows what is on the other side of this trial. He knows the blessing that awaits you, the doors that will open, the joy that will come. And He is not going to allow you to step into your promise until you are fully prepared to carry it. The wait may be long, the journey may be exhausting, but do not lose heart. God is with you in every moment, and He will not leave you where you are. Keep pressing on, keep trusting, because your breakthrough is closer than you think. There is something powerful about knowing that God sees every tear you shed, every silent prayer you whisper, every moment you feel like giving up. It is easy to believe that in the grand scheme of the universe, your struggles are too small for God to notice, but that is not the God we serve. He is not distant or detached. He is personal, intimate, and deeply invested in your journey. Think about Hagar, the servant of Sarah, who was cast out into the wilderness with her son Ishmael. She had no food, no water, and no hope. She laid her son under a bush and walked away, unable to bear watching him die. But in that moment of despair, when she thought no one saw her pain, God called out to her. He spoke her name. He provided water in the desert. And she called Him El Roi, the God who sees me. God sees you just as He saw Hagar. He sees the way you put on a brave face in front of others while secretly carrying the weight of the world. He sees the nights you cry yourself to sleep, the days you push through exhaustion, the moments you wonder if all your effort is in vain. And just like He provided for Hagar, He will provide for you. Sometimes the enemy wants you to believe that because your struggle has lasted so long, it will never end. He whispers lies that God has forgotten you, that your prayers are unheard, that nothing will ever change. But the enemy is a deceiver, a manipulator, a liar. He wants to steal your faith, drain your hope, and make you give up right before your breakthrough comes. But let me remind you, God is not bound by time. He is not limited by circumstances. He is not ignoring you. If He allows a delay, it is because He is working something greater than you can imagine. What you see as a season of struggle, He sees as a season of preparation. What you see as a time of waiting, He sees as a time of refining. And when the time is right, He will move in ways that will leave you in awe. So if you are tired, if you are weary, if you are wondering whether God still sees you, know this: He does. He is standing beside you even when you feel alone. He is strengthening you even when you feel weak. And He is preparing something far greater than you can comprehend. Keep trusting, Keep believing, because the God who sees you is the God who will deliver you. There's a reason why God allows struggles in our lives. It is not because He delights in our suffering, nor is it because He has abandoned us. No, my friend. He is refining you, shaping you, molding you into something greater. Just as fire purifies gold, trials purify your faith. Just as pressure turns coal into a diamond, hardships turn you into someone stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the blessings God has in store. Consider the story of Joseph. Sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused, thrown into prison. His life was marked by suffering, yet through it all, God was with him. In every dark cell, in every moment of betrayal, in every year of waiting, God was working behind the scenes, preparing him for something far greater. And when the time was right, Joseph went from the prison to the palace in a single day. That is the God we serve. A God who takes the struggles of today and turns them into the testimonies of tomorrow. A God who uses pain to position you for purpose. A God who allows trials not to break you, but to build you. Maybe right now you feel stuck in your own prison, trapped by financial struggles, overwhelmed by loneliness, burdened by health problems, or weary from battles that never seem to end. Maybe you are questioning why God is allowing this season in your life. But let me tell you this, God has not forgotten you. He is using every tear, every prayer, every sleepless night to strengthen you for what is to come. You may not see it yet, but on the other side of this struggle is a blessing greater than you can imagine. What the enemy meant for harm, God will turn for good. What seems like a setback is really a setup for something miraculous. So hold on, stay faithful, because when the time is right, God will lift you up, and you will look back and see that every struggle had a purpose, every delay had a reason, and every tear was not wasted. When the weight of the world feels unbearable, when your heart is weary from fighting battles no one else sees, remember this: God knows. He sees every sleepless night, every silent tear, every whispered prayer that no one else hears. He knows the depth of your pain, the weight of your burdens, and the exhaustion in your soul. You may feel invisible to the world, but you are never invisible to God. Think of Elijah, the mighty prophet of God. He stood on Mount Carmel and called down fire from heaven, proving to all that the Lord was the one true God. But shortly after that great victory, he ran into the wilderness, terrified, exhausted, and ready to give up. He sat beneath a tree and prayed, "Lord, I have had enough. Take my life." But God did not rebuke him. He did not shame him for feeling weak. Instead, He sent an angel to comfort him, to give him food and water, and to remind him that he was not alone. That same God is with you now. He is not angry at your exhaustion. He is not disappointed in your struggles. He does not see your weariness as weakness. Instead, He is standing beside you, ready to lift you up, to renew your strength, to remind you that your story is not over. Maybe right now, you feel like you are in your own wilderness, lost, drained, unsure if you have the strength to keep going. But hear this: God is not finished with you. He is the one who gives rest to the weary. He is the one who restores what has been broken. He is the one who breathes new life into dry bones. And just as He did for Elijah, He will do for you. You may not see the way forward, but He does. You may not know how you will make it through, but He has already prepared the path. So lean into Him. Let Him carry you through this season, because even in your weakness, even in your exhaustion, God is working, moving, and preparing something greater than you can imagine. There are moments in life when the battle feels unending. You push forward day after day, carrying burdens that feel too heavy to bear. You smile on the outside while inside your soul is crying for relief. And in those moments, when exhaustion presses against your spirit like a mighty storm, it's easy to wonder if God sees, if He cares, if He will answer. But let me tell you this: God is not blind to your pain. He is not deaf to your prayers. He is the one who counts every tear that falls from your eyes, the one who hears the silent cries of your heart in the midnight hour. He sees you struggling, and He knows you are tired. And He is not a God who watches from a distance. He is the God who steps in, who holds you when you can't stand, who carries you when your strength is gone. Do you remember the story of Peter walking on water? He stepped out of the boat in faith, his eyes locked on Jesus. But the wind howled, the waves crashed, and suddenly fear took over. He began to sink, and in his desperation he cried out, "Lord, save me." Immediately, Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. That's the God you serve. The God who does not wait, the God who does not hesitate, the God who reaches out the moment you call His name. Maybe you feel like you are sinking right now, like the waves of life are pulling you under. But all it takes is one cry, "Lord, help me." And He is there, hand extended, lifting you back up, setting your feet on solid ground. You may be tired, you may feel like giving up, but God has not abandoned you. He is standing right beside you, whispering, "Hold on just a little longer. I am working, even when you can't see it. I am fighting for you, even when you feel too weak to fight for yourself." The storm will not last forever. The night will not last forever. Because the God who rescued Peter, the God who strengthened Elijah, the God who never fails, He is the same God who holds you now, and He will not let you go. There is something powerful about endurance in the face of struggle. When you feel like you have nothing left to give, when your heart is weary and your body is exhausted, God is still working. You see, God never promised that life would be easy, but He did promise that He would never leave you nor forsake you. That means in your hardest moments, when you feel alone, when the world seems to be against you, He is right there beside you. Think about the woman with the issue of blood in the Bible. She had suffered for 12 long years. Doctors couldn't heal her, money couldn't save her, and people had given up on her. But she had faith. She believed that if she could just touch the hem of Jesus' garment, she would be made whole. And when she reached out, Jesus turned to her, acknowledging not just her physical need, but her unwavering faith. "Daughter, your faith has healed you," He said. Like that woman, you may feel like you've been struggling for years. You may feel like your prayers have gone unanswered. But God is saying, hold on, reach out, trust me, because breakthrough comes when you refuse to let go of God's promises. Healing comes when you believe that He is greater than your pain. Restoration comes when you understand that your struggle is not wasted, that your suffering is not in vain. God is using this season to build something within you. Strength, resilience, faith that cannot be shaken. He is refining you, preparing you for the blessing that is ahead, so don't give up now. You are closer than you think. Your healing, your breakthrough, your victory, it is on the way. And when it comes, you will look back and realize that God was there all along, carrying you through every storm, wiping every tear, holding you even when you felt like you were falling apart. Because that's the kind of God He is. He sees you, He knows you, and He will not let you go. There is a reason why the storm hasn't broken you. There is a reason why, despite the sleepless nights, the silent tears, the weight pressing down on your spirit, you are still here. God sees your struggle. He knows you're tired. But He also knows what He has placed inside of you, strength that you don't even realize you have, faith that is being refined in the fire, a purpose that cannot be destroyed by hardship. Sometimes the hardest battles are given to those who are called for something greater. The enemy doesn't attack those who are sitting still. He attacks those who are on the path to something divine. You feel the weight of your trials because the calling on your life is heavy. You wonder why things seem harder for you than for others. But the truth is, God is preparing you for something they are not called to handle. You are being strengthened in ways you cannot yet understand, molded into a vessel that will carry His power, shaped by experiences that will give you the wisdom to help others. In the Bible, we see story after story of those who struggled before stepping into their purpose. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers and thrown into a pit before he ever saw the palace. David spent years on the run, hiding in caves before he ever sat on the throne. Even Jesus himself fasted in the wilderness for 40 days, enduring temptation and suffering before his ministry began. But in every case, the struggle was not the end, it was the preparation for something greater. So if you are feeling weary today, if your heart is tired and your spirit is burdened, remember that you are not forgotten. God has seen every tear, heard every prayer, and knows the weight of what you carry. He is not ignoring your pain. He is working in the midst of it. He is strengthening you, building you up, setting the stage for a breakthrough that will make every moment of struggle worth it. Hold on, because the story is not over. What God has planned for you is beyond anything you can imagine. And when you come out on the other side, you will stand as living proof that His grace is sufficient, that His power is made perfect in weakness, and that no battle is bigger than the God who fights for you. My friend, I know you're tired. I know the road has been long and the weight you carry feels unbearable. But hear me now. God has not abandoned you. He has not turned His back on you. He sees every tear you've cried in the quiet of the night. He knows the prayers you can't even find the words to speak. And He is working even when you can't see it. The enemy wants you to believe that this is the end, that the struggle will break you. But I tell you today, in the mighty name of Jesus, this is not your end. This is your preparation. You are being refined, strengthened, and positioned for something greater than you can imagine. So hold on. Keep pressing forward. Keep trusting. Because the same God who brought you this far will not leave you now. Your story is not over. And when the breakthrough comes, and it will, you will look back and see that every trial, every tear, and every moment of exhaustion was shaping you for the purpose God has ordained. Rest in Him. Trust in Him. And know that He is always, always with you. Amen.